Well, hello, everyone. I hope everyone's getting ready to get started. My name is Dr. Margie Martin. I'm the Dean of the Chicago campus, and it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to our virtual celebration of the class of 2021. President Nealon, I'm honored to announce that members of the Forensic Psychology graduating class, their friends, their family, and the faculty are all now present. We're all gathered here to celebrate the class of 2021. Before we begin, I just have a couple Zoom housekeeping notes. Guests will remain muted for the duration of the ceremony just to reduce the background noise, but please feel free to post comments in the chat box. And remember, everyone can see them. I see some of you have already started doing that, which is fantastic. To reduce the background and feedback noise, if you're using multiple devices, such as a phone and a computer, please make sure both are muted or they're not in the same room. And if you're having any technical issues during this whole celebration, use that IT contact information. Matt Pompey just posted it in the chat box, and you might want to write that down just in case you're disconnected for any reason. Each graduate will be spotlighted as their name is called, so please be sure to turn your camera on at that time. We want to be able to congratulate you. The celebration will be recorded and posted on our website. And graduates, we will email you just as soon as that link is available and posted. You're invited to share these important memories with your friends and family on social media today. Just use the hashtag TCSPPgrad. We are so delighted that families and friends of our graduates have joined us from around the world to celebrate this important day. Welcome and thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Michelle Nealon, the president of Chicago School of Professional Psychology.
Thank you, Dr. Martin. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to be here for our virtual celebration of the Chicago campus class of 2021. For our graduates, this event is the culmination of several years of study. For the families of our graduates, this event is the manifestation of all of your hopes and dreams. And for the faculty who toiled along with our graduates, this event is a moment of immense pride, pride also in your accomplishments. This is indeed a momentous occasion, a time to celebrate, a time to reflect, a time to prepare. Today, advice will be given and stories will be told. There will be laughter, there will be tears, there will be applause, and yes, there will probably be some technical difficulties. Above all, it will be memorable. And now I would like to introduce your wonderful department chair, Dr. Maureen Keishan.
Thank you, President Nealon. Class of 2021. Seeing you gathered here today is one of my favorite moments as a department chair. You have all worked so hard to complete the academic courses and the clinical field placements required for the degree. Despite these unprecedented times, which required countless Zoom classes, telehealth training, and so many more unanticipated curveballs, you've made it, and we are here to celebrate you and your achievements. I know you are well equipped to do great things as you utilize the education and training you have gained throughout the program. Now it is your time to go out into the world and uphold our pillars of education, innovation, diversity, and service. I know you will be successful. Be confident that you have obtained the necessary clinical skills and training to serve our communities. Our communities need you now more than ever. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Rima Obaid-Ross to announce the recipients of the 2021 Forensic Student Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Keishan, and hello, graduates. I would like to take a moment to recognize 4 of our graduates this year who are receiving student awards. Each year, the Forensic Department recognizes student accomplishments in the areas of leadership, research, commitment to diversity, as well as service and training. These 4 areas were chosen because of the foundational role they play in the development of competent forensic practitioners. While all of the Masters in Forensic Psychology graduates demonstrated competence using these areas, the 4 awardees being recognized this year consistently demonstrated exceptional performance in these categories throughout the duration of their time in the program. I'm now going to turn it over to each of the faculty members who nominated awardees to speak on behalf of the accomplishments that they have achieved. I'll begin with Dr. Lori Benton.
It is my pleasure to acknowledge Eric Alfaro for the Commitment to Diversity Award and the Service and Training Award. As a dual award recipient, Erica has shown exemplary performance in her investment in providing services to diverse populations and dedication to social justice issues. She has demonstrated this commitment by providing multiple presentations and trainings to various community organizations and ongoing support services. Erica also has shown her interest and dedication to service and training to our Chicago School and Forensic Psychology Department. I would just like to list a few of her accomplishments in these areas. Erica has co-facilitated ongoing non-clinical services to legal practitioners and mental health professionals dealing with the impact of vicarious trauma at the National Immigrant Justice Center and the Lee Carlson Mental Health Center. Erica has also helped research, develop, and co-presented the following presentations and trainings: complex trauma, pathways to delinquency; vicarious trauma and trauma stewardship, frameworks of self-care; LGBTQ youth, trauma-informed care, and child welfare. These presentations were provided to various organizations such as the River Valley Detention Center, the Lee Carlson Mental Health Center, the Family Violence Center at NIU, and the Chicago Trauma Informed Hospital Collaborative. Erica also presented on complex trauma and delinquency at the Accepted Student Admissions Day to students across programs at the Chicago School. In addition, she has been part of multiple student panels for student orientations for our department. Erica has also held faculty assistant and teaching assistant positions within our department. I want to personally thank Erica for her service. She has truly been a valued asset to the Chicago School, the Forensic Department, and the communities she serves. I would also like to mention for Erica and her family, a thank you to Timoteo Alfaro and Carmelo Alfaro for their guidance and love, which were so important in her achievements today. Congratulations, Erica. It is also my pleasure to acknowledge Angelie Nair for the Leadership Award. As the recipient of this award, Angelie is engaged in leadership activities for the Chicago School and the Forensic Psychology Department. She has also been instrumental in organizing student events and is engaged in volunteer activities. She's always interacted with a positive attitude, passion, and dedication to the field and overall professionalism. I would like to mention several of her accomplishments in this area as well. Angelie was a member of the Forensic Ambassadors during her first year of graduate studies, and as a member, she helped organize a panel of speakers in recognition of Black History Month and Women's History Month. During her second year of the program, she assumed the administrative chair of the Forensic Ambassadors. She also managed our mentoring program for our first year forensic psychology students. As the administrative chair, she worked with the other leadership of the ambassadors to organize a movie event and a discussion of forensic related issues. Angelie has also been a volunteer at the Homework Help Room throughout her graduate studies. She's also a contact liaison for our potential local and international students. And in this role, she talks about our program and navigates the application process as needed. Thank you, Angelie, for your leadership and dedication. I would also just like to take a moment and thank Angelie's parents for their constant support of all her endeavors. Congratulations, Angelie. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Casey Sharp to announce her award recipient.
Thank you, Dr. Benton. And hello, everyone. I have the pleasure of honoring Miss Courtney Jones today for her award for service and training. There she is. Hi, Courtney. So I think, as we all know and can agree, this has been a very difficult year for a variety of reasons, and has been also a very unique year, particularly in terms of training. Courtney is a student who was part of my practicum seminar class this year. And unlike some of my other students, I had never had Courtney in class before. So it was my first time having her in class. And right away, she really established herself as a leader within the seminar. I think her classmates can all agree Courtney really served as a leader with regard to her case conceptualizations of clients, with regard to the feedback that she provided her fellow classmates with regard to training issues, concepts that came up. And students in the class often commented just on how well formed her case conceptualizations were of clients, and the way she approached really difficult ethical, clinical, and legal issues during the training year. The other thing that I thought was really inspirational for a variety of reasons is Courtney was also a first-time parent this year. So she was navigating completing her training, completing her coursework, all while parenting her baby, who actually turned 1 during the course of this year. And I think, as we all can kind of relate with, to some extent, how difficult it was managing multiple duties, working from home, parenting, those sorts of things. There she is. One of the greatest things I think about this year is that we were able to get glimpses into our students' lives in ways that we were never able to before. And we got to see her beautiful daughter throughout the year. And I just think it really, Courtney demonstrated an exceptional just manner of professionalism, of clinical training, and just served as a leader for everyone in class. And I just thought I wanted to acknowledge that. So congratulations, Courtney. And hi. And I am passing it on to Dr. Zars.
Thank you, Dr. Sharp. And good morning to everyone. Congratulations to the entire class. It is my distinct pleasure and my honor to introduce Jenna Bush. Jenna Jurwitz, which is how you know her, for the Leadership Award. In addition to being an outstanding student, Jenna exemplifies the very characteristics of adaptation and resilience. This no doubt grows in part from her extensive volunteer activities since the age of 14, I might add, as a cheerleading coach, teaching young ladies to be both athletes, but also team members who prize good sportsmanship and character, while stressing the need to be able to accept both success and defeat, both of which I think on each end of that spectrum are important. For Jenna, in our program, she was dealing with significant personal loss, but she did not allow that to derail either her graduate studies or her dream for the career that she envisioned for the rest of her life. In March and April of 2020, Jenna was hit, as were we all, by the global pandemic. In particular, Jenna was enrolled in my Israel Study Abroad course and was facing the devastating loss of our study abroad trip to Israel. However, Jenna was able to model a positive attitude as we pivoted to Plan B. Jenna chose and thereby modeled to remain engaged and to remain determined to maximize the opportunities that we did have, as opposed to bemoaning the opportunities that we lost. This is leadership in action. Congratulations, Jenna. And I turn it back over to someone and have to confess that I've forgotten who that someone is. Amy, can you jump in?
Yeah, actually, you are just introducing Jenna as a student speaker now.
I'm turning it over to me. So, Dr. Zars, thank you for that. So, it is, I'm just using the same words. It is both my honor, it is my distinct pleasure, it is my joy to introduce Jenna Bush as your class representative. And I am particularly thrilled because not only was I Jenna's professor, but Jenna worked with me as my faculty assistants. You may also recall that I mentioned the significant loss that Jenna experienced at the start of our program. one of those losses was Jenna lost her mother, and my deepest condolences. You might notice that Jenna is outdoors for this graduation. In an effort to maximize the freedom that the lack of geographic boundaries brought to this particular graduation, Jenna and her father chose to attend our graduation from the cemetery so that both of her parents could celebrate and join her in this momentous occasion. I give you Jenna Jurwitz as your class representative. You're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you. There you are. No, 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 still not. We see your lips moving, but we cannot hear you. Amy, can you unmute her from your end? I wonder. Hold on, Jenna. Let's figure this out.
Showing that she's unmuted from my end. Matt?
Jenna Bush, anything you're seeing on your end? We can see your lips moving, but we cannot hear you.
I was just going to suggest that she call in with a cell phone if possible.
Hello?
There you are.
Okay, I had to switch my speakers. I'm sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Zars, for that wonderful introduction. My name is Jenna Jurwitz, and it's both an honor and a privilege to speak with you as the Forensic Psychology Commencement speaker for the class of 2021. Because it's been 11 years since I've written a speech for a graduation, let me start us off in the only way that I remember, with a quote from good old Dr. Seuss. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. No, but in all seriousness, it's a pleasure to be speaking to you today. I remember my first day at the Chicago School like it was yesterday. I listened to faculty highlight their qualifications and life experiences, and then at the end of orientation, we were told that this was the first day of our professional life. To be in a room with such highly qualified and respectable people, I felt blessed to have the opportunity to develop relationships with our faculty and learn from them. But as a 22-year-old fresh out of undergrad, I also felt awkward because I thought I hadn't earned the right to be called a professional yet. Looking back, I recognize that my professors are the reason I now embrace these new facets of myself. I want to say thank you for taking a leap of faith with us and for your encouragement, support, and guidance. I'm confident that my colleagues and I will be great professionals because you all have modeled what this means and looks like to us on a daily basis. While writing this speech, I found it difficult to articulate the process of obtaining this degree. The reality is, it's tough to put our educational experience into words. Our degree never anticipated a global pandemic to send us home for a year. As we became the group of students who spent the most time doing off-site remote learning, we had to adjust, go with the flow, and learn to do therapy through telehealth, over phone calls, and with masks on. The magnificent number of students who are graduating today, however, just shows what we can achieve when we embody adaptability, resilience, strength, and perseverance, and that nothing can stand in our way unless we let it block our path. Reflecting on these last 3 years, I recognize that these qualities are some of the many qualities that make us forensic students stand out from every other program. I've watched us support one another through grief and loss, physical trauma, financial hardship, mental illness, a global pandemic, and other life circumstances with grace and elegance while training in one of the most rigorous programs this institution has to offer. The best part is that we had each other through everything. When we were pushed to our limits and on the verge of saying, that's enough and I'm done, there was another student willing to listen, help you carry your heavy load, and encourage you when you needed it most. To my classmates, I want to say thank you for the profound impact you've had on my own academic career. In all sincerity, I don't know if I would have made it through the program if I didn't lean on you guys during the tougher moments. Well, this is it. We're about to embark on a journey we've all prepared for some time now. We made it to today because we're hardworking, tenacious, and overcome our obstacles. After watching all of us grow and conquer each challenge, I have so much joy and hope for the future. I'm comforted by the fact that we are going to impact the lives of those that we treat as we embrace ourselves from this day forward. Congratulations, class of 2021, for completing this adventure. Remember to embrace your talents, be kind, enjoy the little things, and approach each new day vigorously. And to my mom and my dear friend Anthony, this degree is for you guys. Thank you.
You did it.
I did it.
Why is it back to me? It's back to me. I don't know why.
You are now introducing Katrina.
Well, there you go. So I don't think you've heard enough from me at this point. So I am still Dr. Zars, and I'm having trouble coming up with different words than simply saying it is again my distinct pleasure. It is my honor to introduce Katrina and the Waves, whom you would know as Captain Johnson, as our alumni speaker. Katrina graduated from our program in 2012. And since that time, she has capitalized on as many opportunities as she could possibly amass in order to set herself up for success. And there were times that some of the opportunities that she took advantage of did not seem to have an obvious outcome. I was sitting on the board of directors for the Illinois Crisis Negotiators Association, and we were hosting a fundraiser, a golf tournament of all things. And I offered students from my advanced law enforcement class to attend to network with the negotiators from all over the state. Katrina and the Waves came to that. And one of the cops had hurt his shoulder. I still refer to him as the shoulder guy. I don't even remember his real name. And he needed somebody to drive him around on a golf cart. And so I asked Katrina if she would be willing to do that and spend the day in service to this police officer who was injured in the line of duty. Katrina and the Waves did that, and it ultimately led to her first employment as a police officer in one of the south suburbs around Chicago. And that really exemplifies Katrina and the Waves. She's going to say yes to opportunities. She's not going to necessarily know where they lead in the moment, but she can network to an impressive degree. And as she has advanced in her professional development, in her career, she has remained steadfast and dedicated to our program, giving of her time and experience as a guest speaker in several of my courses, in one of my panels in professional development, in my advanced law enforcement course, and most recently serving as a member of my hostage negotiation role play team. Because again, we did not have the geographic borders, you notice that positive spin on not being able to do that role play in person. I was able to ask Katrina to join us, Captain Johnson, to join us from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and serve as a member of that team. And of course, as she always did, Katrina said yes. Katrina's passion and her energy are contagious. She stands poised at this point to leave military service and return to law enforcement, where she plans to incorporate the education and the training that she received in our program to make a difference in policing in Texas. I am proud, I am honored to give you Captain Johnson. I also want to mention that she was tasked, specifically because of her degree, her master's in forensic psychology, to coordinate and implement the Ready Resilience Program for the United States Army. She therefore impacted those elements for the Army. That impact is absolutely significant. Thank you, Captain Johnson, for your service to our country. I turn it over to you.
Wow. I'm not quite sure how I follow that introduction. Thank you, Dr. Zars. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago School Forensic Department, class of 2021, congratulations. I am truly honored to be here with you today. When I was first asked to speak at your graduation, I was completely beside myself. My spouse was really quick to advise, hey, you just need to stick with the 3 B's. Be brilliant, be brief, and be gone. Now, I promise you I can meet the intent of the last 2. However, in regard to be brilliant, I'll leave that up to you to make that determination. As each of you are here today at your graduation, I do fully empathize with the fact that your ceremony is far from what you had imagined when you first arrived at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Throughout the past few years, each of you have had to adjust and maneuver through a plethora of unexpected challenges. The fact that you are standing here today speaks volumes of the level of resilience and grit that each of you possess. The same is also true of your professors. Despite navigating a global pandemic alongside each of you, they also continued to show up for each of you. They ensured that you were afforded unprecedented professional development opportunities by providing access to resources that were not bound by geographic limitations. Your professors were able to pivot, think outside of the box, and capitalize on their network to maximize these opportunities. One prime example of this was in Dr. Zars's Advanced Studies of Law Enforcement course that she mentioned. Under normal circumstances, I would not have been able to participate in the panel that she provides annually to her students. However, her ability to utilize virtual platforms enabled my participation from Fort Bragg, North Carolina. This is only one of the many examples in which your professors have relied heavily with their network to provide you unique opportunities. This leads me to my next topic, networking. Networking truly is an underrated art form and ultimately a huge key to success. And I'm not talking networking in the sense of exchanging business cards, writing contact information down, sending a quick email or text before you depart. I'm talking about the connection aspect, where you take a moment, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, you're engaging in conversation, and genuine connections are made. As you transition from a student professional to a working professional, you will quickly realize the world is a lot smaller than you thought it was. And there's a good chance that you will meet professionals in which you have less than 3 degrees of separation between you. These connections enable your reputation to precede you. Now, whether your reputation is good or bad, that will ultimately be up to you. If there's one piece of advice that I can give you today, it's to say yes to the hard jobs. Don't expect perfection. You will fall down, you will struggle, and there will be moments that you fail. But please, don't be scared of making mistakes. Mistakes are expected, as is it learning from them as well. And as we often say in the military, hey, as long as it doesn't impact life, limb, or eyesight, you're generally pretty good. What ultimately matters is how you bounce back. Focus on bettering yourself a little more every day. And when you look back a year from now, you will be amazed at the amount of change that has occurred. As I wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge to find something that it ignites a spark, an unquenchable thirst, something that sets your heart on fire, where you feel it in every ounce of your being. When you do, you found your passion and your calling. This is where you will have the most influence and where you'll start to identify gaps where you can insert your area of expertise. Your passion will be palpable through everything that you do, and it will enable you to adjust, adapt, and apply your degree in a multitude of settings. Again, congratulations, class of 2021. Please celebrate this moment and be proud of your accomplishments. Use your degree in forensic psychology, however small or big. As Gandhi once said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. I look forward to seeing how each of you change the world. Thank you.
Greetings, graduates and invited guests. It is my great pleasure to introduce our honored speaker today, Mr. Raul Raymundo. Mr. Raymundo has long understood the challenges and strengths of working class and immigrant families. After earning his bachelor's degree from Carleton College in Northfield, Minnesota, he returned to the Chicago neighborhood where he grew up and co-founded the Resurrection Project in 1990 with seed capital of $30,000 from 6 Chicago area parishes. Since its inception, the Resurrection Project has leveraged this capital into over $600 million in community investment and positively impacted thousands of individuals in Southwest Side Latino city neighborhoods and in the western suburbs. Under Mr. Raymundo's leadership as CEO, the Resurrection Project seamlessly blends community development, community organizing, human service delivery, and advocacy to build healthier and engaged communities. And today is one of the region's most innovative and effective community development organizations working in every area of community life. Mr. Raymundo currently serves on several local and national boards, including chair of the board of Self-Help Federal Credit Union, with its multi-state operations and national policy impact. He also is co-chair of the American Business Immigration Coalition, a member of the board of the National Association of Latino Asset Builders, Start Early, the Illinois Justice Project Advisory Board, St. Anthony Hospital Ministry Board, and a member of the leadership team for the United Power for Action and Justice. Mr. Raymundo is a recipient of numerous awards and recognitions, in addition to being a Greater Chicago Leadership Fellow, and has mentored many leaders in Chicago and across the nation. It is my distinct pleasure and deep honor to introduce Mr. Raul Raymundo as our honored commencement speaker.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to share this celebration of accomplishments with the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. I am grateful and honored to share this platform with such distinguished community. I must admit, prior to receiving this invitation, I had limited knowledge of the Chicago School. But as I learned more of your mission, your focus on diversity, social responsibility, and the many accomplishments of your worldwide alumni, I am humbled to have been invited to share my thoughts. First, on behalf of the Resurrection Project, congratulations, felicidades. Your accomplishments would be impressive at any time, but they are especially remarkable considering all that we have been through this past year. As you know, the COVID-19 crisis, police brutality, and other injustices, coupled with the imbalanced recovery of the 2008 recession, has seriously exposed the inequities, health, housing, education, childcare, wealth, and citizenship. Despite all the challenges you have witnessed and or experienced, you have persevered. Today, you are demonstrating the resolve not just to become an alum, but also to make a difference in our social fabric. I agree with the Chicago School statement, a new normal is not good enough. If a new normal is just going back to pre-pandemic times, then where's the justice in that? I too believe in the world like the Chicago School, where homelessness is reduced, mental health is destigmatized, everyone has access to quality and integrated healthcare. Healthcare disparities are eliminated, and of course, all healthcare professionals are culturally competent. I believe that coming out of these crises, we need stronger, more vibrant, and healthier individuals and communities everywhere. The next economic and social recovery should leave no one behind. As someone who has been fighting for social and economic justice for multiple decades, I know things won't get resolved overnight. It takes patience and tremendous hard work. As an immigrant from Mexico, I was taught at a very young age the value of service and giving back to community. In 1990, 2 years out of college, I co-founded the Resurrection Project in the community that I grew up with $30,000 seed capital from area parishes. Our mission was and still is to build relationships and challenge people to act on their faith and values to build a healthier community. Early on, as a community organizer, I understood the power of one-on-one relationships. Having conducted hundreds of them, I learned how to listen and understand people's self-interest. In other words, what would motivate people and institutions to act? In doing so, we built power, forged partnerships, and built the know-how to act through the self-interest identified. We learned how to address an issue instead of pretending to solve an entire problem. For example, homelessness is a huge problem, but we made it into an issue in our neighborhood. By doing so, we not only helped to preserve the doors open for the homeless shelter, but also acquired the only single-room occupancy building in the neighborhood. Today, the Resurrection Project is a multifaceted regional social impact organization that operates with an entrepreneurial spirit and takes action on how it impacts a person's life. Part of the strategic action is converting problems into issues. Like the homelessness example, we recognized early on that we can come up with solutions for issues because issues are winnable and achievable rather than mistakenly believe that we can solve an entire problem. We also work from an asset-based perspective rather than a deficit viewpoint. In other words, we decided to build on the tangible assets and non-tangible assets of the community. The tangible assets included, for example, its geography, its churches, and other institutions. The non-tangible assets, not more, our culture, language, the values.
See everybody else's pictures.
I believe that every challenged community in the world has positive attributes to build from. The Resurrection Project and the School of Professional Psychology have a lot in common as two unique social impact organizations. The Chicago School's values of education, innovation, service, and community are in alignment with our core values of passion, character, and commitment. For us, passion is acting with faith, confidence, and conviction to serve society. Character is operating with respect, professionalism, morals, and ethics. Commitment is driven to go above and beyond a sense of duty and obligation. As you go into your journey to make a difference, you will go into diverse communities to work with people who are eager learners, activists, advocates, as well as people in need. As a future change agent, I look forward to our paths crossing and continuing to make a difference in people's lives. As you know, the crises we have witnessed are not over. As the pandemic wanes, many will get through it fine, others will struggle to get back on track, and unfortunately, many already, over 3 million worldwide and 600,000 in the United States, have perished. Also, the other inequities exposed during the pandemic, especially in poor communities and communities of color, have widened. I believe that the education you have received at the Chicago School has prepared you to be change agents. Our mission must include relating with others and fighting side by side for social and economic justice. We don't live alone. We belong to a community, and hence it is not enough just to show empathy for one another. Accountability and responsibility are paramount in our own personal mission. The pandemic has reminded us of that. Moving forward, we need to do things differently to make things better. Let's unify our spirits and our values and act with conviction, because creating a new normal society is not good enough. Once again, I congratulate you and wish you much success in taking on issues you seek to address. With you as change agents, I look forward to a better world.
Thank you, Mr. Raymundo. It's now my great pleasure to award the honorary degree. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, I hereby confer upon you, Mr. Raul Raymundo, the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Raul Raymundo, I am pleased to present this honorary degree to you.
It is now my pleasure to announce that we shall now proceed with the presentation of candidates for degrees. Each candidate has been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated on their diploma, subject to the completion of all degree requirements. And now I would like to invite Dr. Nancy Zars to begin the presentation of candidates.
Good morning. Our first student is Madeline Albers. Congratulations. Our second student is Blake Marie Banks. Congratulations. Sarah Birchmeyer. Congratulations. We see her. And we hear from the peanut gallery. Antoinette Burgess. Congratulations. Jessica Davila. Congratulations. Brianna Elias. There's Brianna. Congratulations. Tamara Fakhetarine. Not sure I did that correctly. I apologize. Congratulations. Kendall Hunt. Actually, I'm sorry. Kendall was not able to join us today. So our remote congratulations to her. Sarah Jacobson. Congratulations. Courtney Jones.
Woo!
Okay, that one went right in your mouth. Congratulations. Jenna Jurwitz. And there's the peanut gallery. Hello. Congratulations. Jillian Kirchin.
Yay!
Congratulations. Alexandra Milborn. Congratulations. Rachel Minsner.
Go, Rachel.
Somebody's not muted. Congratulations. Forrest Mormon. Congratulations, Forrest. Carrie Moyer. Carrie, there we go. And the dog. Congratulations. Anjali Nair. There you are again. Congratulations. Joanne Sunvaye.
Oh, wow.
There's a gathering. Congratulations. Erica Alfaro. Another huge congratulations. Congratulations. Maya Short. Congratulations. Courtney Skula. And another dog. Congratulations. Guadalupe Valquilios. Congratulations. And Sarah Vasiliev. And another dog. Sarah V. There you are. Congratulations. I now turn it back over to Dr. Keishan.
Actually, can we kind of rushed over Blake. Can we do Blake Banks one more time?
Sure. Blake Banks. There you are with the peanut gallery. Congratulations, Blake. One of my advisees. And now I turn it over to Dr. Keishan.
Thank you, Dr. Zars. President Nealon, on behalf of the Forensic Psychology faculty of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, I present to you these candidates who have been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated, subject to the completion of all requirements, and respectfully request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are qualified.
Thank you, Dr. Keishan. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology and by the state of Illinois, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified, with all of the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors thereunto pertaining. And now I invite all of the graduates to take a moment to show their appreciation to the people who have helped them make this moment possible today. So everyone, if you can, move your cursor to the upper right-hand corner of your screen and click on the gallery view. Those are the 9 squares in the grid. And as we're proceeding, show your love. And also please applaud your families and friends who have joined you today and who have helped you get here. I know we miss being together in person, and yet there is something so wonderful to see the smiles and the hoot hoots of all of your families and your friends.
Woo! Congratulations, everybody. Feel free to unmute yourselves.
Woo!
Congrats.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
That family dressed up.
All right, well, congratulations to all the graduates. We now are going to do our oath of affirmation and diversity. And while you'll still be mute because we've tried it both ways and it can get really noisy, but I really want you to say it out loud in wherever you are with your family or your friends. So raise your right hand and recite with me in unison, and I'm going to hear you virtually, the oath of affirmation and diversity now that's on your screen. And other professionals who are with us today, please join in because you can reaffirm your oath. I hereby affirm that I shall discharge the responsibilities of my profession in a manner consistent with respect for the dignity and worth of the individual, and that I shall strive for preservation and protection of fundamental human rights, that I shall seek to increase knowledge of human behavior, to increase self-understanding and understanding of others, and that I shall use the knowledge for the promotion of human welfare, that I shall seek to embrace the profession's commitment to understand and respect individual and culture differences, and that I shall diligently protect the welfare of those who seek my services, and that I shall use my skills only in the furtherance of human welfare in the integrity of the individual, and that I shall well and truly recognize the traditions and the ethics of my profession, and that I shall subscribe to these traditions and ethics freely and upon my honor. As a representative of the Chicago school community, I hereby affirm to actively participate in this learning and professional community by embracing its commitment to understand and respect individual and cultural differences. As such, I will seek to gain knowledge of human difference that I may increase my understanding of self and others. And I will seek to build on the environment of mutual respect and inclusion where all are valued. Thank you for joining, everyone. And now I'll turn it to Dr. Nealon.
Thank you again, Dr. Martin. Class of 2021, congratulations. One of my proudest moments as president every single year is just this one, the opportunity to welcome graduates into the alumni ranks of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. I'm also pleased to congratulate and welcome your loved ones and friends and families and dogs who have supported you as you pursued your dreams. I imagine that there is a common refrain to be heard in the commencement speeches delivered across the country this year, one of overcoming adversity and rising to challenges rarely seen before. Indeed, it has been a year like no other. The obstacles that you faced along the way, a global pandemic, the effects of a tenuous economy, political divisiveness, and social unrest. And yet, each and every single one of you persisted. You met hardship and uncertainty head on with perseverance, grit, determination, and values. Values that reflect those that define our unique university and that I know you will take with you as you embark on your postgraduate dreams. Your job now is to focus on the goals that paved your way to today. Many of you are entering the workforce, a workforce that sorely needs your skills, the ones that you have honed during your years at the Chicago School. Like never before, there is a laser focus on mental and behavioral health, on service, on leadership, on the alignment of leadership and social justice, on accountability, and on the need to rethink the ways in which we have always done things. In so many areas, we need new approaches that can ensure more positive outcomes. So think of the need for mental and behavioral health services, for example. The pandemic is leaving in its wake increasing rates of depression, anxiety, and substance use. People continue to struggle with the effects of prolonged isolation, uncertainty about the virus's future, job loss, or economic hiccups in their lifestyle. And far too many will continue to struggle with grief or the long-term health consequences that COVID has wrought. Your knowledge, your skills, whether performed in a clinic, a school, a business, or private practice, or somewhere else, will be critical to the ability of individuals, families, and organizations to bounce back. To be sure, we have experienced seismic shifts in our paradigm, shifts that I suspect will endure for some time. And we're only beginning to understand the full impact of these changes and the challenges that they present. Thousands of women, and particularly women of color, have dropped out of the workforce. What can you do about that? We've come to rely as never before on technology for everything from routine meetings to healthcare. Is that a direction we want to continue to move? We have become increasingly aware of the systemic barriers that separate people of color from the services that they need. What can you do about that? The sudden shift to virtual learning platforms for both the K through 12 and the higher education systems left way too many students struggling or disengaged. How can you make up for that? International tensions and domestic political tensions have intensified. How can each of you contribute to the easing of these tensions? These are indeed monumental problems, too big to be addressed by any one of us, but each of you can play a part. The diploma that you receive today is your ticket to tomorrow. There is not a specialty area taught at the Chicago School that does not have a significant role to play in shaping the way we emerge from this very difficult time in our history. Your education has prepared you to face the future with strength, insight, optimism, and resilience. So, Chicago School alumni, we're depending on you. Everything that happened this year comes with silver linings. Find the possibilities that are buried in the rubble of a tumultuous year and put your TCSPP values and education to work to lead the way to a brighter tomorrow. Congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elise Fauer, and I am the Assistant Director of Alumni Relations and Development at the Chicago School. It is my pleasure to be here with you today to congratulate you on your graduation and to officially welcome you as members of the TCSPP Alumni Community. While your journey as a student has come to a close, we are hopeful that you will remain engaged as an alum and stay connected to the university in the years to come. In the coming weeks, you will be invited to join our online alumni networking platform, 360 Alumni, where you will have the opportunity to connect with fellow alums, explore networking and professional development events, along with access to a TCSPP alumni job board. We will keep you apprised on ways you can engage with the school through monthly newsletters, which you will start receiving in August. You will learn more about ways in which you can stay involved, whether it's service on our alumni council, mentorship program, and more. We look forward to staying connected and supporting you and your professional growth. Again, congratulations on such a remarkable accomplishment, and welcome to the TCSPP alumni community.
This concludes our celebration of the Forensic Psychology Class of 2021. Please refer to the chat or your email for information about faculty gatherings, which will start immediately following this ceremony. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much.